This was getting bad. I'd snipped a bit of my hair off and it turned just ghost white in my hands like fucking radiation poisoning or something. A good shit proof she didn't lay eggs in my asshole or something. It was rough trying to consider every possibility at this point, but I had to do something. Whatever she wasn't human. I checked myself in the mirror a few times, back and forth. Hair aside, I didn't look any different, apart from the freaking handprints on my hips. Now, any idiot knows what a succubus supposedly is, a sex demon that sucks the life out of her prey once she's done the deed with him. Or during, depends on where you get your lore from. Insert research montage here, you know. Google really doesn't do much beyond showing me a lot of stuff from World of Warcraft and a handful of Japanese porn sites. So if she was what I thought she was, shouldn't I be dead? That was my first thought. Was she just sampling the local stock, trying to pick her favorite flavor, or what? I don't know. I'm not an expert, but it sounds like a good deal of self-restraint on her part. I mean, I can do some pretty filthy shit in the heat of the moment. I can't imagine what she does if she's feeding on sex energy. If that's her thing, if she just takes a little bit and then lets the prey go, I don't know. I mean, I caught myself just then. My life had just gotten a lot weirder, considering all the shit just have to consider right now based on what I've seen. Police? No. Tell them what? That I just got laid and the girl sprouted a tail to probe me Roswell style? That she lived in a torched ruin where she brought guys home? That my hair was turning silver when you cut a lock of it out? Whatever she'd done to me, I had to do something. There was really nobody to turn to but myself, I guess. I decided to chase down the next few guys on her list, checking the picture that I'd taken over and over. And I was all over campus trying to see who I could find, but it didn't do any good. Most of them were piss-stupid frat boys, pent-up geniuses, and the like. The easy sort of seducing prey that either think of sex as lunch freaking fast food lunch or haven't gotten any and are freaking desperate for anything they can get. The easiest sort of prey, I imagine. I had to admire the legwork that probably went into this list of 20 names. And then, a week later, like clockwork, there she was again at the Rubenstein. It only then occurred to me that I'd never gotten her name. It kind of made me feel like a slut, kind of cheap. Don't even ask her name, just fuck her. But then her eyes met mine. My face must have been pretty startled because that cool gaze kind of just, I don't know, something cold and calculating. She just stared at me for a long time. And I went to go chat with her. I mean, I couldn't exactly run in terror. She would probably suspect something. It's really hard to hold a fake conversation with a girl that attractive, but I knew whatever she was back at it. I don't know if she could smell the fear on me or what, but she was a little more touchy-feely than before, if that makes any sense. I almost felt like I was in a fucking pheromone fog. If you've been with a woman enough, they have that certain I'm ready for sex smell. Not a good smell, not a bad smell, just if you've been with a woman, you know what I'm talking about. It's that smell. I guess I was the first to come back for seconds. No doubt that wolfish smile of hers was still pretty interested. Another chunk of meat to chew off of me, no doubt. Who knows, maybe I'd lose my hair this time. Some of the succubus lore that I saw said that they drained years of your life away and added them to your own, so I don't know. Maybe she thought she could grab another year or two. In fact, that was kind of what I started assuming, was that each guy represented a year, 5 years, whatever it happened to be, and maybe the system shock caused the hair to turn white, and then it would start growing normally. So if she took like a sip of everyone, then she could just stockpile her own lifespan. I don't know. That's a lot of assumptions. I'm just kind of stabbing in the dark here, considering that all this garbage is suddenly real, and I've seen enough to treat it as real, so pardon me if I freak out a little. Traveling from the bar to her place was kind of a haze of, curling smoke and cloudy moonlight, just like any other Sin City thing. I just sort of followed her like a lost puppy, and we ended up back at that apartment. And again, it looked like any normal place, but I knew it was the same building, and I knew it wasn't right. I knew it wasn't real. I let her work her wiles, but if I was going to do this, I had to play dumb. And of course, given her intentions, it took zero effort to get her clothes off. I insisted on doggy style and went to work on her like normal. And yeah, she squealed in that perfect way that women do when you're giving it to them like that. I could feel the bounce of those perfect tits and listen to the squeaking bed frame under us. And I checked the room while I was going at her. I didn't see anybody else. Nothing out of place or creepy looking. It was, I don't know, whatever influence she had over what I was seeing was pretty potent. I finished and then put a knife in her back and twisted. She screamed and I threw myself on her, twisting it again as hard as I could. I'm 90% sure I hit a lung, something solid. I could feel it sort of just like burst under the blade. I held her down until she stopped moving, and then I got up, covered in blood, panting, naked. I kind of had this I have made fire moment. I don't know. The male ego. I just had sex and killed something and blah 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 blah. It's a sort of feral feeling. I don't really know how to describe it. Then she got up too, slowly, just like knives fucking sticking out of her back, and she looked pissed. And, that perfect apartment melted away like something out of fucking Silent Hill and was replaced with the real deal. And we stared at each other for, that awkward silence of I just tried to kill you. And she pulled my knife out of her back, and I knew I was pretty much fucked at that point, and not in a good way.